my name is Jesse. If you are watching this for the first time, I'm coming all the way from Bushenyi, Chamhunga, which is my ancestral ground, right? Or my ancestral home, land, and it is beautiful all over the whole place. It is early in the morning, and I decided to take a short stretch to see, what the world has to offer, and so far it is great, as in you guys. In fact, get a wide angle lens for you guys to see what is happening here, right? And that's it. So we are now hooked onto the wide angle lens, right? So the place is really nice, it is beautiful, and yeah, it is a beautiful place to be. So what am I looking at today? If I'm to look at some of these things, one of the things that I have to appreciate is I have come back to the village. And this is the thing, when it comes to my paternal side, I had taken a really long time. I think I'd taken over 10 years without coming this side, and it was so beautiful to come back, right? It was lovely. It is the most beautiful thing that you can have at the point, right? So of course, it is an election season. So if you're watching this, probably we have no internet right now. So by the time it comes up, maybe we shall have the internet back, of course, such that I can share this with you guys. So, of course, right now we have no internet in the country. We've just had elections, right? And all those are very, very different things to talk about. But today what I'm going to look at and mostly focus on is the internet and its usage. So I'm going to be taking a walk around the village. So far, yes, so my people are mostly tea growers. We grow a lot of tea. So wherever you look, you're going to find me moving in tea fields. And that's our thing. That's what our parents did. And then, of course, yeah, it is something that we do look at a lot. So right now we have no internet in Uganda, and that is, and I'll use this as a personal reflection, right? The internet is really powerful, and I got to realize how much I use it the moment it was disconnected. You get to realize that you can't do anything without the internet, right? So, for example, there's simple things. For example, things like GPS not working. In fact, I really feel like if I could get an option of having a different GPS provider, I would definitely take them on, right? GPS not working, you can't send yourselves basic things, right? Say, for example, last time I had a patient and I wanted them to send me an image such that I could look at it. And so the more you get to realize, and then you're looking for drug interactions in some cases, there are apps that we use, but then they're very online things. And I got to realize how much of a challenge one gets to have in case they actually have something of a kind. And the internet is really nice to have, but in some cases, I'm beginning to realize it isn't like the most protected thing, right? So it gets you hooked up and you won't be able to do anything. So those are kind of the bad things, but at the same time, it has been great for us. For example, I'd come for an uncle's funeral, and for the first time, you could actually see grandchildren and the members of the family, and these guys were actually talking. They would commune with one another. See, that is something that is normally not doable in cases where you have the internet on. It gave me the time to think about things. The general anxiety kind of reduces in a way, right? Because at the end of the day, think about some of the things that we look at. The news itself is mostly terrible, right? And if you look at most of us that are actually using the online news platforms, you find they're actually worse, right? Say, for example, before I came back to the village, some of the wars that I was looking at, I was following up a few wars. For example, the first one, the one of looking at the conflicts that we have, Iran, Israel, and then you look at the US itself, you look at Russia, Ukraine, You look at Sudan, right? Congo. Now, one of the things that the internet does, it kind of does, and it does really well, is kind of bring us together, right? It bonds us together as a human race. We can share everything from what we have, from what we've seen, and what we want to do. And it is a good thing about that. But at the same time, I've come to appreciate that it actually creates a lot of anxiety for no reason, right? Because, for example, I won't do anything about it. It is not in any way useful for me to go out there and know what the wars are doing. Unless, yes, I can hope to educate myself about them. I could do maybe try and analyze what is happening. But other than that, there is nothing. I could try and advocate for them, but there is nothing else that I can do as, as a normal person. And that's where most of us fall. It's not like we have the power to change anything, right? You can be vocal about it. But at times, even when you're looking at the news itself, you're not sure who has sent it. And the perfect example for this, I will use the US. If you look at the right-wing media versus the left-wing media, it is so totally different. And the news landscape has changed. It has come to a point where people that we do respect or that you really want to aspire to be, not that you should actually, in a way, to, at times they tell us not to meet our heroes, but you find that these guys literally have nothing that they're doing, right? And if you look at the news from the right and the left, they're so totally contradictory in some cases. And you get to realize that to an extent the internet has actually just maybe fueled the hate that we have. I don't know how to put it, but it feels that way because, man, these guys are way just beyond, right? But it is lovely. So I've been disconnecting, finding my roots home. Of course, that is also nice. I've come to realize, at times when you go and learn about your history, you get to realize how great, for example, in my case, my dad was. There's so many stories that I learned about him that actually make me look at the guy in a totally different light. So back to the internet thing. So I have come to realize we got bond with my cousins. We got to sit down and commune. We got to do the right things that one wants to do, right? It's not about being the very best in some cases. It's just about being human, right? It is about being human and being a friend in some cases. Yeah, I'm going to hit you with a little bit of backlight, but yeah, it is a beautiful place. So that is where we are right now, right? So of course right now I don't even know what is happening in Kampala. I just have to call a few friends and then probably get to find out what is going on, right? And it is a totally hilarious thing, right? So you'll find in this case, for example, in Bushenyi where I am, things are relatively peaceful. Actually, no, relatively isn't a big statement. It is peaceful, right? Does the current president have a lot of support this side? Yes, he does, right? And so we have that going on here. But I can't tell. So you get to appreciate how much social media actually changes and makes things easy. And I'm a hermit. I'm a guy that normally goes in a WhatsApp group and I will never say nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. But in this case, you get to realize that you are fully disconnected without the internet. I can't check any apps that I use, let it be for medicine, to double confirm something. There, that has brought me out and got me to realize I need to get those pocket books back. And yeah, something physical, something that one can use, something, or if I'm to get an app, I feel like this is the last time we need to get medical apps that are totally 100% offline, maybe with the exception of updating the drugs and the research that we're looking at. But it has been nice, right? I can't explain it in a way or two, but I feel like I should actually do this to myself, do an internet detox every once in a while. This one was forced on me, believe me. I did not plan on having this. In fact, by the time the internet was cut off in the country, I was actually watching a cool video and I hadn't gotten the memo that, the government was going to do its thing and take off the internet. Yeah, but it did. Right? So it is really rough. God, this alarm is annoying. Right? But it is the way it is right now. Right? So it is nice. Of course, I'm looking at some ants, Why not take you along the whole path of what I'm looking at here? And so these guys look simple. But believe me, bro, in case they decide to mess you up, if I was to collapse here, chances are high people would find my body already compromised because of this. So they're not really as simple as they look, right? So, yeah. So that is it, really, right now. Because right now, I don't think if I had the internet, I would actually be doing this, right? Getting myself out to go and have a walk and, look at nature, enjoy the air, enjoy the current on my face, jumping out of bed and just washing up and then coming out to do this. And it has really been great, right? So I think personally I need to start doing this more. Getting a lot of time off the grid, off the internet, disconnecting, remembering who I am, right? Though, of course, yes, we're made by society. You're not made alone. Even the thoughts that you have, you will find that most of the time they're molded by someone. You learn something from someone, and you kind of incorporate it in your world or in your life, and that becomes a whole different ballgame. But at the end of the day, it's still nice. It is still lovely. Yeah. All right. And don't get me started with village life. The short time I've been this side, if I was rich enough, really, I think I would move. Goodness, I don't even know why we actually stick to the city so much. Like, this is lovely. It is, I don't know how to put it in words. It is actually that good, right? So, yeah. No internet at all, man. No internet. But it is. It is. And then, of course, I can't realize the moment I don't have the internet, it's almost like I use my phone less. I never game with my phone. As much as I'm a photographer, I never take photos with it. I have a very interesting Chinese phone. And if I'm to look at it, RS4, I bought it from a friend at about 250,000, which is literally about $67? Sorry, about 70, let's put it roughly. And it's been doing good, great battery life. I make the calls. And the battery, since I've not been using the internet, I haven't charged it ever since I got to this place. Right? None at all. And so it has been really, really eye-opening. It has been humbling, to learn about all these things, where we come from. And to that extent, I'll attribute that to the internet, right? It is lovely to have. Though I don't know if I will manage, so I guess I'll test myself first, see if I can actually pull it off, right? Because at the same time, it could be harsh, it could be harder to pull off. Because at the end of the day, we also need the internet to survive. Work does dwell on that. There is no way you can communicate with teams without having any internet with you. And so that becomes a very important thing to have, right? A very vital and important thing to have. So, yeah. we just need to keep doing the great hustle, chasing the bank sometimes. There are times you get to wonder why you need to start with, why you need to actually sit there and hustle and do all these things. So let me just continue working the site since I'm exploring, see where this road goes, and then I think I'll come back with you later on. But so far, I'm actually grateful that I did come. So, yeah. So, of course, one of the things that had brought me this ends was to bury my uncle, because this is our ancestral ground. And he was a really great guy. He was the chairman for a very long while. And he was really loved by a lot of people. And, I have to confess, that was a very interesting turnout for the people that came to send him off. If I'm to use a ballpark figure, I think we were over 2,000 people within that very compound trying to say goodbye to this great man, right? And he was lovely. I need to get, and one of the things I've come to appreciate at funerals, whenever you get stories coming up, you get to love the person a little bit more. I don't know, it's because this person is not coming back, so they are as rare as the most rare commodity that you can find. But if that is not the case, you'll find that it is something to look at, right? So of course, with elections, internet being off, the moment you get to a village like this, you're literally cut off. I'm telling you the truth, like literally. You'll have no news, nothing you'll have no idea as to what is happening in the world, and you'll be there in your own bubble alone, right? So it is great to be that way. I did meet some people that I hadn't met in about 30 years, so having no internet once again was really a cool thing, right? Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So, till we meet again, I think I will sign out for now.